BYU is the Big 12's only hope in an at-large bid at this point. And it should not be that way based on what happened nationally this last week. I don't know if from the standpoint of the rest of the country, the Big 12 could have looked worse because of what Clemson went out and did, losing to Louisville 33-21, because of what Texas A&M went out and did, getting absolutely drubbed. I'm talking hammered against South Carolina, opening up an opportunity for Kansas State, who is sitting at 17, for Iowa State, who is right there in the neighborhood of the top 10, for BYU, who's in the top 10, to build a cushion. So you're looking at teams that move up, a team that builds a cushion. The Big 12's in a much better spot. And I keep going back. I was going to have the opportunity to keep going back to, hey, 3 teams in the college football playoff. Don't count us out. We got a real shot. Big 12 can do it. And now what? You know what? You know what the answer is to that? BYU. That's it. Oh, but Colorado's on the come up. Colorado at 10-2, they can make some noise. Sure, they're still a 2-loss team. Yeah, Kansas State lost to Houston, but Alabama lost to Vanderbilt, and K-State's got 2 losses. We don't have the liberty of what the SEC has. We don't have the leeway of what the SEC has when it comes to losses. If you have 2 losses in this league, I can't guarantee you anything. Yeah, well, Iowa State only has 1 loss, so they should be okay. Brother, when the AP poll comes out, if you're listening to this before the AP poll does come out, I can assure you Iowa State will stay in the top 25, but they will not be remotely close. With 4 games to go, and a lot can happen in 4 games, they can still go to the Big 12 championship, but they will not be remotely close to the college football playoff at-large bid after being the number 11 team in the country, with a chance to tied for 11, 12, 11, that range, with a chance to move up following the Clemson loss and a chance to move up following Texas A&M's loss. Now that they lost to Texas Tech, who's been on a slide recently, you're not going to get anything. You're not going to get any, if we win the next few. Now what it becomes is BYU having, we've all just kind of put BYU in a bad spot. Here's why. Oh, no. He's going to say it. He's going to say it. BYU fans, plug your ears. I'm in this, again, musty, weird Airbnb in Waco, Texas. And I'm about to further deface this place by saying the following. The best case scenario for the Big 12 conference is BYU going 12-0 to the Big 12 championship game and losing to Kansas State and losing to Iowa State and losing to Colorado, losing to one of those teams, being 12-1, having home field advantage as the 6th seed, as the 7th seed in the college football playoff, having a night game, LaVell Edwards Stadium. You lost. Yep, you just couldn't find a way to get it done in the Big 12 championship, and you lost. But now you get Clemson. You get 1 loss, Indiana. Uh-oh. You get SMU again, but this time it's in LaVell Edwards Stadium. That is ideal. You don't want it. I can assure you don't want it. You want the bye. I would want the bye. Kalani Sitake wants the bye. He doesn't want to have to play at LaVell Edwards while everybody else is off doing their own little bye week thing in that top 4. Of course not. But if you're me and you host Locked On Big 12, and we're talking best case scenarios for the Big 12, the only hope this conference has at being maximum on the relevance scale late in the year in the postseason is BYU going to the Big 12 championship undefeated, which you would agree with, you would like, and then losing the Big 12 championship game. Now, if you are a Texas Tech fan or a Baylor fan or a UCF fan or a Cincinnati fan, there is a vested interest, knowing your team's obviously not going to the CFP, a vested interest in ensuring the Big 12 conference goes as far as it can. The SEC has this deal where all the fan bases kind of root for each other. The Big Ten has this deal where all the fan bases, they root for the best case scenario for the conference. And as a Big 12 fan, or the fan of a Big 12 school, This is where we rally together, even you BYU fans, and say, hey, it's time for the Cougars to fall on a sword here. Otherwise, here's what will happen. BYU, number 5 of the country, going into the Big 12 championship game, will play Kansas State, who's number 13, 14, 15. Iowa State, who's a 1-loss team, a 2-loss team, they're number 13, 14. They'll play Colorado, who's number 13, 14, 15. And the second that team loses, goodbye. See you later. We have gone in the span of a week because of 2 monumental upsets in the Big 12 from, hey, BYU, you go keep winning, keep doing your thing. We can get like this 1-loss team in. Here's the way we do it. We'll find a way. You go undefeated, you go 1 loss, we'll be okay. We went from that to everybody else kind of ruining BYU's Big 12 championship deal if we want the Big 12 to succeed long term. And look, you and me, let's get close here. You wanted to leave Independence for a long time. You wanted a conference. You wanted a home. You kept telling me, we're so excited to have a home. This is a bit of the price you have to pay to have a home. We have to have the tough conversation where we set you down and we say, BYU, if you want to benefit the entire Big 12, the best thing you can do is keep winning football games until you kind of don't in the Big 12 championship. You're the only thing you can the only thing you can do to maximize your Big 12 membership is lose the Big 12 championship, go to the college football playoff, and win the entire thing. That's all I need. Just need you to lose that little one in there, but then go win the entire thing. The national championship, 1984. Yeah. And it stinks, and I completely get it. You, Kalani Sitake, everybody else, you just want to keep winning the football games in front of you. But the Big 12 has wedged itself in a very tough spot, and you are not going to reap any benefit from that. Coming up, Baylor TCU was sobering on Locked On Big 12, part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day. Today's show is brought to you by FanDuel. FanDuel right now has been running a whole lot about how you can live bet during games. Baylor was down 7-0 to TCU, and I said, I'm in the stadium. I think I should put money on Baylor live, and I did, and they won. And right now, if you bet $5, you get $150 in bonus bets if you win. FanDuel Sportsbook app. You go right now, you boop, boop, boop. What's live? What sports are there? You get a hunch in the middle of a game, you put a bet. FanDuel.com, America's #1 sportsbook. Get started with $150 in bonus bets if your first $5 bet hits. FanDuel.com, never waste a hunch and make every moment more with FanDuel, an official sportsbook partner of the NFL.